Hello everyone, welcome to William in the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Elliot. Elliot is from England in the UK. So let's see what Elliot has to say. Enjoy the interview.
Yeah, Elliot, how you doing?
Hello Elliot, I'm very well. How are you today?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Amazing. So tell me, how's your weekend going so far?
Yeah, pretty good, thanks. I'm keeping very busy at the moment. I'm currently running or training for a half marathon and a charity boxing fight as well. So I'm doing a lot of training at the minute, physical training. So it's been
Oh, wow.
going well.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about your training. How long do you need to train for? Is the first time you run a marathon, or walk me through a little bit about the experience?
Yeah, so I've never ran a half marathon before. I've never really ran over 10 kilometers apart from the last kind of few months of training. But recently, over the past few months, I've kind of just been really wanting to challenge myself in a lot of different areas of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Found that I haven't really been challenging myself as much as I want to. And I want to kind of push myself out of my comfort zone with certain things. So the training's going really well. I tend to run every morning as soon as I wake up, fasted, normally go on like a 5 to 10 kilometer run, but on the weekends I up it a lot more. So today I actually did 12 miles, which was took me
Wow.
just under 2 hours. So I'm pretty
Wow.
tired, but feeling good.
And when the half marathon is going to happen?
That is the 13th of October. So I've got about 3 more weeks to go, and then that's the main event day.
Amazing. So tell me, where are you from, Elliot?
I'm from a place called Bournemouth in the UK, south coast of the UK. Um, and I've lived here all my life. I've been traveling a lot over the world over the past few years since leaving education, but I've always been kind of living or having a base in Bournemouth.
And what do you do for work, for living?
So I'm an online health and fitness coach.
Mhm.
I help people become more disciplined, get in the best shape that they can be in, and just live a more fulfilled and meaningful life, basically. That's what I do.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so during the interview, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career and also about your life so far, okay?
Mhm.
But before we start our journey within the magic box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself, or maybe something that not many people know about you.
Yeah, for sure. Something that's interesting, I guess, is that I also make music as well. So I have a Spotify kind of artist
Okay.
profile, and I've been making music for about 4 years now. And I
Wow.
try to release a song every few months or so. I haven't released one since about May, I think, of this year, maybe. So it's been a while because I'm focusing on other things at the moment, but that's another thing about me.
Wow. But you are a singer as well, or just make music?
No, it's actually more the vocals. So I
Okay.
tend to work with other artists that actually create the beat side of things, and then I will layer my vocals on top. I used to make the music as well, but found that I was actually better with the vocal side of things rather than actually the production.
I see. Okay. Elliot, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
Yes, let's go.
Amazing. Welcome to William in the Magic Box.
Thank
So I
you.
have here my best friend. Run the fun questions, okay? I'm just gonna play a song just for us to relax before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Let's do it. All right, so before we start the game, during the join, if it comes up a question that you don't want to answer, don't want to talk about, I always can change, okay?
Sure.
Right, first question for you is, what do you like the most about your best friends?
What do I like the most about my best friends? That's a good question. I have a couple of different friendship groups, and I've realized over the past year or so that I'm tending to gravitate towards people that are kind of on the same um, path to success, really, that we both want to go down. So I'm gravitating a lot towards my friendship groups that work out a lot and
Mhm.
box and looking after themselves physically. And what I like about them is that we just connect. We just connect. We have I guess, a mental connection that I don't really know how to explain it, but we're just very similar in terms of our values and beliefs. And um, yeah, we just have a great relationship. We share the same interests and things. So it's just, yeah, getting stronger and stronger.
And your best friends, they are from Bournemouth as well?
Yeah, yeah. So I've tended to have met most of my best friends from this area, growing up with them. But I have lifelong friends from traveling as well. I've done quite a lot of traveling, so I've met people that, again, you share the kind of same experiences when you're traveling abroad, and it's always nice to hear other people's stories from how they've gotten to where they are when you meet traveling from where they came from and things. So I've got quite a few different friendship groups.
And what's the biggest difference between you and your closest friends? Tell me something that it doesn't match at all.
The biggest difference? That's a great question. I think I'm a very deep spiritual thinker. I tend to find that not everybody kind of thinks the same as me,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't see as a bad thing. I think it's good to be around people that are different to you as well, for sure.
Absolutely.
Because if you're just around the same people all the time, then nothing really changes and you don't have a bigger perspective on the world.
Totally. I think being friends with different point of views, different approach, different, life backgrounds, I think you just gains, it's like, you get experience, you become open-minded person, you understand from the other points of views as well. And it's just good things that you get from it for sure.
Completely agree.
Yes.
Definitely.
Next question. Let's do it. Hey, Elliot, next question is, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or not, who that would be and why?
Wow. Another great question. If I could have dinner with, yeah, okay. So I'm not too sure if you've heard of this person, but I'm very much so into, again, the spiritual side of things and the laws of the universe and manifestation and things like that, the law of attraction, law of assumption. So there is a spiritual teacher that I'm very much into at the moment who has died. His name was Neville Goddard. He was based in the US,
Okay.
and he's very popular in that space. His teachings are still all over YouTube. They're very famous, very well known, and he helped millions of people create a better life for themselves, and is still helping people now because his teachings are all over YouTube still, even though he's passed on. So I think he would be a great person to have a 1 hour dinner with and just ask a few questions.
And what would be the first question you would ask him?
The first question that I would ask him, I guess how he found out about this kind of secret, because especially back then when there wasn't internet and things like that, so how he came about the teachings of the law of attraction, and how he kind of found his talent within it, would be quite interesting to find out how he got into it.
And how this spirituality journey was introduced to you? How was the light there? You got, okay, oh, that's something interesting about that I'd like to get more involved or more understanding or more connected with?
Good question. As I mentioned earlier, I've always been a deep thinker. I think I've always thought a bit deeper than a lot of people around me. So I would say that my own kind of thoughts has allowed my mind to go down different avenues, which has allowed me to find certain things. But I also was given the book called The Secret for my birthday. I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago,
Wow.
which is the main teaching around the law of attraction, the law of assumption, manifestation, and things like that. So there's a bit of a mix of both my thoughts, my deep thinking personality, but also, yeah, people buying me things, and it just stemmed from there, really.
And what is the meaning of being spiritual for you?
I think just having being open to things, having a wide perspective on this life. It's quite easy just to shut something down if you don't know how something works. I think a lot of people these days don't really understand the teachings from things like the Bible, and so they just shut it off and just say that, oh no, that's a load of rubbish. That's not true. People aren't open to believing in certain things. They're not open to hearing about certain stories and things. So for me, it's just about being open, um, and just having a wider perspective on life, figuring out why we're actually here in the first place, because it can all be a bit confusing. And if it's confusing for some people, they just tend to just shut it off and say that's a load of rubbish.
Again, absolutely. It's just about being open-minded. Even though if you don't understand, it looks strange for you, it looks a bit weird, but just have an open mind or open look about it. And, it can be good something for you that's it's just being introduced, but maybe you're not ready yet. It's just like a
Exactly.
basic introduction.
Yeah, definitely. I think a few years ago, I would have been the same as a lot of other people that would have just shut it off and said, "No, that's not true," and I'll just crack on with things. But now I'm definitely becoming a lot more open-minded to um, a lot of things like that spiritually, and it's having benefits on my life. So yeah, I'll continue.
Next question. Let's do it. Elliot, before the next question, tell me about your fitness career. So tell me how everything started. Walk me through what's the best part of being a fitness trainer.
Yeah, so I've always been a very sporty kid. Ever since I grew up, I was always on the school football teams and playing sports with my friends outside. I was always trampolining or gymnastics in the garden and things like that. So I've always been very sporty. I then got into golf as a younger teen as well. My dad used to take me to golf. But football and golf were normally always the main things until I went to university and I started hitting the gym, started going to the gym with some people that introduced me to the weights and things like that at university when I was a bit older and actually physically ready to hit the weights. And since then, that's been one of my true passions. I hit the gym 5, 6 times a week. I'm now running every day. And I just think it has so many benefits for your life. And it helps you in different areas as well, in all areas. So I think it's pretty crucial that people do look after themselves physically because it can help you mentally as well. It certainly does. So it kind of stemmed from there. Ever since I was a young kid, it's always been my passion to be physically healthy and in good shape. So that's where it all started.
Do you train more in the mornings or you prefer more in the evening, afternoon? How does it work for you?
So I always start the morning with a fasted run. So I'll go out on a 5 to 10 kilometer run most mornings, straight away. I normally wake up at 5:30 and then I'm out the door by 6:30 on the run. And then I'll come back and I won't tend to train until maybe the early afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too much of a morning weights trainer. I like to get a bit of food in me before I actually hit a gym session just to make sure that I'm fully fueled up. And sometimes if work things happen, then I'll train in the evening as well. I don't mind that.
Amazing. Okay, next question is, if you could be any age, what age would you choose and why?
Any age, wow. Um, I don't know. I'm 27 at the moment. I definitely wouldn't want to skip ahead in life. I don't want to do that. I want to experience my life as it goes on. But if anything, maybe I would go back to being maybe just before, maybe about 18. If I could have the knowledge that I have now and go back to my 18-year-old self, there'd probably be a few things that I'd tell myself that might help me in good stead for the next 10 years or so.
That's the wish of everyone else, trust me.
Yeah, it goes quick after a certain time, doesn't it? The years go by too quick.
Aging for you is something that bothers you or for you is just see as a matter of life?
I just see it as a matter of life.
Mm-hmm.
I just do. We're all in the same position. Time goes by the same pace for everybody. It's just how it is. I don't want to see it as an issue. I just try and be grateful for every day that we have and try and make the most of everything. Challenge yourself on a daily basis, meet new people, do things that you wouldn't normally do, and good things will happen.
And what's the meaning of life for you?
The meaning of life. To live it, to live life. As I just said there, to challenge yourself, meet new people, experience different cultures, different countries, different lifestyles, learn a new language, say hello to more people, say an extra sentence to people at the store that you might not normally. I think
I like that.
we need
I
to
like
love
that.
more. We need to give more love and yeah, I just think that the world right now is it's probably not going in the best direction at the minute, but if we can give more love and that just starts by yourself doing that, then the world's going to be a better place in the future. So yeah, experience.
I really like that. Say more phrase or say something more than usual to a person that you just meet. I like that, Elliot. Actually, it's
Hmm.
so right because sometimes you get the habits of saying the same thing or just, oh, hello, how was your day? Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I like that, actually.
You
It's
never
kind
know
of
who you're going to meet. You never know who you, that extra
totally
sentence that you say to someone, they could become a future business partner or a relationship. You just never know.
goosebump. Look, I've got goosebump now. It's powerful. It's so true because, sometimes you just need to give an extra attention for whatever whoever is crossing your path. You know what I mean? Maybe they just need the extra information about you, maybe extra phrase or extra word. And sometimes, my God, it can go such in a direction that you're not expecting. I really like that. Amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, it doesn't do you any harm to do that. That's for sure.
Next question, ready?
Okay.
Let's do it. Next one. You're talking about traveling. So tell me a little bit about your journey. Did you travel because of studies, work, or just for leisure? So tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I think growing up as a kid, my parents were always they were helpful for me. So if I was at school and there was a school trip coming up, they would always make sure that I was able to go on it, like ski trips and things. And we went on, they always made sure that we had a family holiday, even if it was just once per year, just to make sure that we experienced things as kids, me and my sister. So I always had a natural kind of experience growing up with traveling and seeing new cultures and countries. And I love that. So when I finished university or education, I always wanted to make sure that I could go on and before I kind of get into this working pattern to experience something new. So I went on a work and holiday visa to Australia for a couple of years, but
Wow.
did some more visiting of countries around there. So I went to New Zealand and America and Thailand, Singapore. So I've done quite a bit, and yeah, I absolutely love it. I think everybody should travel. Completely opens up your perspective on life, and again, you never know who you're going to meet.
Which person in your family you feel more close to or more connected with?
Definitely my mum and sister. I'm probably the closest with. Um, we're on the similar kind of wavelength up there in terms of spirituality and things like that. So my mum and sister I'm very close with. Dad as well, but dad he's not really into that. He's just a hardworking man, traditional man. And yeah, we have a good relationship as well, but closer with mum and sister.
Okay, so let's see now that your family, yeah, your parents and your sister, they're watching this interview right now, and you have a moment, an opportunity to send them a message. What would you say?
Hmm, what would I say? I would say for mum and dad that, you know, to do what they actually want to do because they've been working very hard for a very long time now, and they are burning out a bit and they want to do certain things. They want to go out and travel and things. So they always keep saying to me that they're going to sell their home and then they just never get around to doing it. And they're still in this pattern of working extremely hard and they're getting older now. So if I could just push them to actually sell their property and, live life a bit more while they've got time to enjoy it still, then that's what I would tell them. Hopefully that will get into their head one day soon. My sister, she just needs to keep doing what she's doing. She's doing really well. She works in London in sales. and she does things on the side as well, social media wise, and she's getting there with that. She's a great character, so she just needs to keep going, and good things will happen very soon, I'm sure.
Sweet, very sweet. Next question is, tell us about your best holidays and why you consider that.
Best holidays. Two spring to mind pretty much straight away. One of them was a family holiday to Croatia in 2023, so last year, last September actually, so about a year ago. And that was just a great family kind of holiday to all be together, because as you do get a bit older and work takes over, it can be hard to always see your parents and see your sister, etc., when you're on different paths in life. And we made sure that before I went back to Australia that we had a family holiday in Europe together. So that one was amazing. The weather was stunning. We'd never been to Croatia before, and the whole culture and everything there, the buildings, everything was absolutely stunning there. The food was great. People were so friendly. So that one was fantastic. And then when I was in Australia last year, me and my uncle and some of his mates went to Thailand on a golf trip. And that was fantastic. We went to Phuket, and that was more of a lad's holiday that was, good fun.
I can see, Elliot, that you are very close to your family. You always had this bond. You always been this way?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I've always pretty much had a strong family connection. My parents never split up, or they're not divorced or anything. They've been together for 30 plus years. So we've
Beautiful.
always had quite a strong family connection. And yeah, always been that way.
Beautiful to see. Amazing. 3 questions left. Let's do it.
Okay.
You like dancing?
I'm not as good as I should be. I should probably improve.
Let's talk about your music. So tell me, how music came into your life, and also the other part of the question is, tell me 3 top favorite artists, or people that influence you in regard your music, or idols that you have.
Okay. Music again has always kind of been within my life from an early age, because dad was always that guy that was in a band or did karaoke at family parties and things. So music has always been a part of my life. I'm always rather driving to music or showering to music. I listen to music all the time.
Mhm.
And it's always kind of been that way since an early age. So that's how I kind of got into it. 3 artists that have influenced me, or are my top kind of listeners maybe over the past few years. The first one that ever got me into music was Drake. Obviously, I'm sure you've heard of Drake.
Yes, I have. Actually, a fun fact.
Go on.
People said that I look like him. I had so many situations, like people approached me and said, "My God, you look like Drake." And
I can see it.
actually, I was in New York City, a few years ago, and I went to the bar to get a drink, and this guy was by my side. He looked at me, he was like, "Oh my God!" For a minute, I thought you were Drake.
You do have his facial
There
features
is
for
some,
sure.
yeah, there is something about. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, no, I can see that now. So yeah, Drake, I remember that because I've always kind of been into rap since I was about 15 or 16 or so. And he was the one that got me into that in about 2009 when he dropped one of his first tapes. That for me was a big influence on my listening, the genre of listening. So Drake was number 1 for sure. I don't listen to him as much now. I still do. I still look out for his new releases, but 10 years ago or so, and for the next 5 years after that, I was a massive Drake fan. And then in 2015, I found a guy on a listening platform called SoundCloud. His name is Nav, Nav. He's a Canadian Punjabi rapper. And I found him when he had only about 5,000 followers on SoundCloud and Instagram. And then he blew up. He's you know, he's got millions of followers now and he's had #1 albums and things. So I found him very early and stayed with him for
Amazing.
his kind of whole blow up part of his career, which was incredible to see. And I still listen to him daily. So Drake, Nav, and one other artist. I can't think off the top of my head. Them
Okay,
two are pretty strong.
I see. Okay, so let's see. One day you wake up in the morning and you have two missed calls, one from Drake, another one from Nav. Yeah. Which one you call back straight away? Yes, and oh my God, I need to call him straight away back. And the other one would go like, okay, I can call him later. Just send a message. Okay, I'll call you later, like when I can.
That's a great question. I've never been asked that before. I think I would have to call back Drake straight away to see what he wants, because his influence on the whole music industry has just been insane for the past 15 years or so. So I would have to go for Drake first, and Nav, unfortunately, second, as much as I love him still.
Amazing. Okay, next question is, who was your first crush and why?
My first crush was a girl at my school when I was about 7 or 8 years old. Her name was, she was,
Remember the name?
yeah, she was a South African. Well, she had South African parents, but she was born in England. But she was just naturally very pretty, even at that age. And yeah, I went out with her for a little while, and then it kind of faded off, as it does when you're just that old. And then I think she might have moved to New Zealand or something, but didn't stay in contact for when she left.
And your first love, can you share or not?
First love. Yeah, no, I can share that. It's actually probably fairly recent, to be fair, just last year, which sounds quite incredible. I've always had flings with girls, but I've never really found that I'd actually loved someone. Up until I came back from Australia last year for just a few months of the UK summer, and I started working at a place, and I met a girl there that we got on instantly, you know, had a strong connection, and it only lasted the summer before I went back to Australia, but there was pretty strong connection straight away. So probably her, to be honest.
Amazing. One girl to go on a date with you. What this girl must have? What's something that you look into it, or it's something that gets your attention? A girl.
In terms of physical,
Overall,
just
overall, like yeah, it could be anything. What's something that gets your attention when you connect with someone like in a deeper level?
If we're going physically, then I love like gorgeous green or brown eyes, like big,
Okay.
nice, attractive eyes. I'm always a sucker for eyes. But more on the emotional level, then it would be I like someone that's got good family kind of values, similar to myself, that's got a good relationship with their family, or at least tries to have a good relationship with their family as much as they can. And it's just down to earth, genuine, kind, caring, loving, just all the normal stuff means a lot to me, rather than just how you look. I mean, it's nice to be attractive to someone, but that only holds up for so long. You need to have a strong connection and share similar values and beliefs.
It's interesting because sometimes you meet someone with a beautiful beauty, it's a natural beauty, and after talking for a minute, connect a little bit more, it can go in a different way. And the opposite as well. Sometimes you meet someone, it's still interesting, but you start talking, you start sharing, ideas and memories, and the person becomes a totally different person. The beauty, and there's something about this person that gets you. You know what I mean? It's so easy. Yeah, it happened a lot actually. Sometimes, again, back to our conversation before. Give time to people to express themselves, or to say something, or to connect somehow, and you're gonna see a different person for sure after that.
Definitely. Once you open up with someone and find out a bit more about them, it can completely change how you perceive them. So yeah.
Could go the other way as well. Could go a different way.
Yeah.
You know
It
what I mean?
definitely could, but it's still worth
Yeah,
finding out, isn't it?
absolutely. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Okay, Elliot from England. Next question is, who is the most influential person in your life?
The most influential person in my life. Family member or anyone?
For any reason, what comes to your mind when you think about someone that always have a big influence on you? For any reason?
It's a great question. I've never really thought about it, to be honest. But my uncle, Peter, I look up to him a lot, and we talk together quite a lot because he's been very successful in his life. And he's been in Singapore for the past 20 years, and he's got connections all over the world. So he has an influence on me. That's who I went on the golf trip to Thailand with just recently or last year. So I'd probably say maybe my uncle Peter, to be honest. He definitely makes me want to do more with my life and travel more and experience new cultures. So yeah.
Amazing. I can see him now smiling after that.
Yeah, he like that.
Last question, ready?
Okay.
Let's do it. Last one. Elliot, before the last question, tell me what Australia have taught you. What's something that, being there, it was a lesson, a life lesson, if you can share.
Good question. So I think for me, Australia taught me that I think when I was going there, I think although it was an incredible time, I was probably going for the wrong reasons. I was kind of going to escape things, thinking that if I just go to a new country and meet new people, then I'll just be a new person and things will change. But as much as I had an incredible time there and learned a lot and experienced a lot, met loads of amazing people and did well out there, I kind of realized that just because you're in a different country and things, you've still got the same head, still got the same brain between your two ears. So it's not actually going to change that much. You need to change who you are as a person, firstly, or become somebody new if you need to, if you find that, you've had traumas and things like that. You can't just escape them by moving. You have to become a new person, and then you'll be more ready to actually experience a new country and things like that. So that's probably what it taught me. Although it was a great time, I realized that you've got to change who you are as a person firstly to then, really have a good time in a new place.
There was like a word or a slang that you've learned when you were there. You're like, oh my God, that's something new that I never heard it before, or something funny. There was something in English that for you was something new, or, a word or a slang?
Good question again. Well, there was a very weird point when I was over there. I had to do some regional work basically to extend my visa. So I had to go to a very rural part of Australia and work in an outback pub it was for a certain few months to extend my visa. So that was like redneck town. There's people that just, work with their hands and farms and things and then just go to the pub and get hammered every night. That's all they knew out there. So they had a lot of funny sayings that I can't quite remember off the top of my head, but it's a very unique time for me, that very weird experience. But again, it's great to experience it and funny memories.
Okay, last question is, which question would you like to be asked?
Which question would I like to be asked?
Yeah.
Well, anything.
Anything. What comes to your mind? Something that you'd like to talk about, or something that when you are in an interview, when you are in a conversation with friends, or like right now, what's something that, I wish this question would come to me, or I would love to, something that's, which kind of question you'd like to answer or talk about?
Yeah, you put me on the spot there, William. I didn't expect this one.
Look, it's a magic box. Look, not me.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I always like speaking about future locations of where you want to live, because I don't necessarily see my long-term future in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got plans to move to Thailand next year because
Okay.
they've set up a new, it's called a Destination Thailand visa, which is a 5-year visa for remote workers. So if you earn money online or if you work online, then you can move over there for 5 years. So I always like talking about that.
Okay, so the question for you would be, why Thailand? What's something about the country that got your attention, or is influence from someone? Why is that?
Yeah, the first time I went there again was, it was actually my uncle Peter's villa. He had a villa in Phuket there, and we went over there with my family and his family for a Christmas in about 2008 or something like that, quite a while ago. So that was my first experience there. I was a bit young to experience it properly, but then, yeah, the second time that I went there was literally only on that golf trip with him recently. So I absolutely love Thailand. I love the people, the culture, the lifestyle is amazing. It's laid back. The people are unbelievably friendly. The food's great. I find the women very attractive as well. I like that side of, I like Asian women.
Look very smart. Very smart. You're talking about it.
And quite a few of the people that I'm influenced by in the fitness industry have lived there for a few years, setting themselves up as a business and things like that, and then they tend to move on to Dubai and other places like that. So Thailand's, yeah, it's been on the horizon for a few years, and I think I'm ready to make the jump next year now.
About it, like, it's interesting to see people living abroad and excited. You know, it's amazing to see. I mean, I can tell I left Brazil when I was 19, and I've been living in the UK most of my life, and I'm excited about the, as you said, back to the conversation before, learning a new culture, being different countries, different people. You know, you just learn, you just gain things. That's life. The only way, you know, you could study forever, but you never get that. You just get that through life, through experiences. And I think it's a great place to do, a great thing to do if you had the opportunity. Could be anywhere. I think it's all about, yeah, like a different language. You know, you just learn, you just get experience, and it's just beautiful. You know, you just connect with people, and you become such a wider person, open-minded and understanding as well.
I completely agree. Completely agree.
Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game, okay? I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. Let's start with money.
Money, success,
Family.
love,
Life.
discipline,
Fear.
scared.
Love.
Oh, heart,
Religion.
safe,
Sex.
enjoyable,
Politics. Politics, yeah.
politics, not good, basically.
Okay. Friendship.
Love,
Desire.
desire,
Yeah.
want,
Regret.
past,
Success.
business,
Wish.
love,
Happiness.
fulfillment.
One word for Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, seaside.
Okay. One word for England.
Depressing.
Oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
I know.
So it's not right or wrong, what comes to your mind? One word for Australia.
Happy.
One word for music.
Music. Relax.
And the last one now, fitness trainer. One word.
Health.
Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your uncle, the one who lives in Singapore, you said. Yeah. If I would ask him to define yourself in one positive word and one negative word, what he would say?
Positive, he would probably say that, oh, just one word.
Yeah, one word.
Outgoing.
Negative?
Negative. not just one word, but I'd say that he probably thinks that I need to believe in myself a bit more.
See, if I would ask the same question to your parents, would be the same answer?
Definitely the negative one, that I need to, get out there a little bit more than I am doing so at the moment. But I'm working on that. And when I go to Thailand next year, I'll continue that dream. I find that when I come back to the UK, things start to regress for me for some reason. When I get out there and I do these visas and go to Australia, and everything good things start happening to me. And then when I come back, I tend to, I don't know, become a little bit less of a person. It's strange. So I need to get back out there, experiencing again. So they'd say the same in terms of that. Positive, yeah. I'm just, a loving person, hardworking.
Interesting you said that about, your personality change, when you are in your mother country. It's interesting, Elliot, because I think my point of view, you meant to be somewhere else. I think you meant to, your life is somewhere else. I think your path, your journey. I say that because when I was 19, before I left Brazil, I went to astrologer, which is a very good friend of mine. He's the father of one of my good friends, and he understands a lot about astrology, like a big master in astrology. And he asked me for my dates of birth, time and everything. I was 18, 19 years old. And he told me, William, I did your astro map, like your astrology. Trust me, your life, it's somewhere else. Yeah. And I remember being scared about it. It's like, oh my God, what do you mean? I knew I was already designed. I wanted to already live somewhere else, like, go after my dreams, live in another country. He said, no, don't get scared. You're going to go back to Brazil. We're going to have a good time still here. But everything about you, it's somewhere very far away from here. And I was like, oh my God, that's interesting. He said, when you were born, and he told me all the stars were there, this and that. I don't remember now. But he explained to me, and he said, I was trying here. I was looking the stars and this and that, but everything it says that you meant to be somewhere else, very far away from here. Wow. So it makes sense what you say, because sometimes, you know what I mean, it's just about ourselves. It's natural, it's genuine about ourselves, and it's not a choice. It's just natural for us. You know what I mean? So it makes sense what you just said now. You just feel a different person, and not wrong about that. It's just a genuine feeling, that you feel like, as you're smiling, talking about an Asian girl, you know what I mean? I could see. So it's something about it, Asia or somewhere there, that gets you, that gets your energy from there. So it makes sense. It's just your nature. So it's, and you know that. So that's a good point, because you're already, and you know it. So sometimes some people, they struggle with that, because they go like, oh my God, I don't know where I should be. I don't know if my dream is here. And sometimes you just know it. You just follow your intuition, your instinct, and it's visible about that. So it makes sense. It makes sense. It can be sad as well in a way, because, somehow it's here, but it's just life. It's just life, how it's being introduced to us. And it's just the way things, are. So I understand.
Yeah. No, that's wise words. Thanks for that, William. Appreciate that.
Let's play now Elliot in the magic box, and you can ask me a question. But back to the conversation is funny, because I love being here, Elliot. I have no idea.
Really?
I meant to be in London. I meant to be in England. I couldn't see myself anywhere else, like living. It's interesting, because back in Brazil, I always had this American dream. When I was a teenager, I was studying English. And back in Brazil, not just Brazil, but South American people, they want to go to the US. They have this American dream, you know what I mean? I never thought in my life, I lived in Portugal before I moved to England as well. So I never thought in my life one day live in Portugal. And I never thought in my life one day live in London. And so funny, and I'm so grateful that life brought me here, because it's somewhere I was never expecting, and I feel like home. I feel like, my God, I'm meant to be here. Yeah. So it's interesting. So I totally understand your point. So yeah, you can ask me a question now.
Okay, then my question to you, William, would be then, I'll try and make it into one. So how did you make your move to England happen? How did you kind of make that dream happen? And what do you love about London or England so much? What's kept you here?
Right. That's a big question. How I made here. I'm gonna write a book about it, Elliot, because trust me, if I had more time, I would tell you like details and everything because it's been a life journey. I was 19 years old. It makes me cry sometimes because I get emotional because it's such a beautiful story that I had no other way to find the money for the ticket, for the plane ticket, for the renting back in Portugal. I was 19 years old. My parents couldn't afford anything about it, and it was such a great, but I believed it. I knew I could make it, I
Okay.
knew it somehow.
Yeah.
And sometimes I miss this 19 years old boy, like full of dreams, who wants to get a better life. So long story short, I literally went for it. I was knocking doors of aid, like from people to help me, and I was literally, and I never give up. One day I'll tell you the whole story because it's an amazing story how I made it. It was very hard. It was very difficult. I had a deadline because I had a certain time because I came with a lovely lady who became my second mom. Like I love her so much, and so her tickets to Portugal was already booked. So I had that kind of 2 months to get this money from. So you have no idea how it was so hard and difficult, but I made it. I made it. And if I have no idea how I look back, if I go into details, I start crying. But it's how I just went for it. I just believed it. I just made it. At the right, I think the destiny saw how much I wanted life, and the right people came along, and suddenly I was flying to Portugal, and I couldn't believe how I made it. It was an amazing story. What I like more about England, about London, it's about I think London, it's a place where it can be very scary as well. I think it can be a place where everything goes too fast, everything goes very fast. I think that I like about people, about how there's so many people around the globe living in London, the multicultural people living here. It's great to see. You learn a lot. You see a lot of cultures in one city only. England is a place that I don't know. It's about history. It's about a lot of things about England that makes me happy being here. I was talking the other day about politics with a friend of an English friend, and I was like, oh my God, back in Brazil, the corruption, it's a lot. And when I arrived in London, in England, I thought, oh my God, there's no corruption here. And now living here for a long while, I understand it's a different concept, but it's just a little thing. But I just love about being here. I love about the English culture, about people. The people, they're very direct, you know what I mean? The English people, they're no like, from Brazil, our tendency is to go around, there's always a way to do things, but here, no, here everything needs to be straight and straightforward. And about timing as well. I learned to be on time in London, in England, it's something that I like it. So yeah, overall, I just like being here. It's a place, life introduced me to London, to England, and I'm very grateful for that because I find my joy here. And I love Brazil. My God, I need to go very often. I need to see my family, my roots and everything. I love my country, but I meant to be here. I think it's a great place to be. The same feeling when you are in Asia is the same feeling I have when I'm here.
Definitely, yeah. When I'm traveling and outside of the UK, I feel more at peace. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm on the right path. It sounds like you kind of actually manifested your new
Absolutely.
life for sure. Like you saying about you didn't realize how you were going to do it, but you just had that self-belief. You knew it was going to happen, and then the right people came into your life and made it happen. So, well done.
Elliot, we're gonna have a drink one day, a coffee, and I walk you through all of that, and you're gonna see like, wow. Even myself, sometimes I go like, my God, I was 19 years old, and how you can make things if you believe it, if you go for it, if you manifest, if you put it out, if you it doesn't matter your age, you can do any time. And when I look back, my God, I was a teenager. When I look back, if I have a son now, I don't think I would think twice to let him cross the world on his own, looking for a dream. Maybe I would because I know how it feels. However, when I look back, 19 years old is an age that you're not prepared for a lot of things. And life, I've been very grateful because life, the universe, God, you can call. Yeah. I've been very protected, and I've been very lucky about that. It could go very wrong, but I think thank God I made it right.
Yeah, well, you're a good person, so good things will continue to happen to you.
Thanks so much. Thank you. Did you enjoy the interview?
I did, yeah. I've never done anything like this, so it was It was a good experience. Yeah, I appreciate your time, William, and I wish you all the best.
Thanks so much for you too, and good luck on your half marathon. Yeah, good luck, and also
Thank
good
you.
luck on your journey. You know, I just see, I can feel your desire, and you just want it. Just do it. You know,
Yeah,
just do it, and things will come. The right people cross. You know, and that's how it works. You know, just go for it. But
thank
before
you.
we go, if you can share a positive message or anything that you live by.
Yeah. So it's quite an inspirational quote that saying about earlier was the love. So it's actually by a guy called Henry Miller, and he says the one thing that we can never get enough of is love, and the one thing that we never give enough of is love.
Great point. Great point.
We
Let's
need
spread love
love more.
around. Give
Exactly.
love.
Make the world a better place.
Amazing. Thanks again, and regards to your family and your parents, and you keep in touch. It was a pleasure. Okay, take
All
care.
right. Keep in touch, William. Thanks for your
Take
time.
care.
All the
You
best.
too. Bye bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, to share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website www.williamandthemagicbox.com and send us a request saying why would you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye bye. See you next time.